everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. We are going to look at a line of wines under the Gallo umbrella. Now, I mention that because a lot of, Gallo gets a bum rap from people. You think of jug wines when you hear the term Gallo. But really, Gallo has some really nice higher end wines. And I was really impressed when I found out that Allegrini, really well-known winery up in the northern part of in the Veneto, they use Gallo as a distributor in the United States. So they would not do that if this was not a very respected winery and very respected organization / wineries. Because Gallo has several projects going on, including a lot of jug wines, as we know, but they are doing a line of wines called Prophecy. And this winery that they operate is kind of like Dave Finney, where he does the location wines. He produces wines in different parts of the world where supposedly that varietal does the best. Well, that's what they're doing here. They've they work with different wineries around the world to create wines that express terroir from the area where those grapes work the best. Obviously, Pinot Grigio would be coming from Piedmont, or not Piedmont, but from the Della Venezia in Italy. The Sauvignon Blanc is from California, the Chardonnay is from California, and the Rosé is from France. So the only question I had when I was looking at these is, really, the Sauvignon Blanc comes from California? Now, I'm not a huge fan of California Sauvignon Blanc, so I'm curious, I'm really interested in trying this wine, see how it shows. You would think they perhaps would go, well, where would you go? If you were producing a Sauvignon Blanc where it's expressed the best, there's two places I would go before California. What two places would you go? Mention in the comments, what two places would you go besides California to have Sauvignon Blanc produced? Now, obviously, they have a hands-on with these different wineries where they work with them. Could be that they own the winery that they make these in. Gallo's a pretty big organization. They own a lot of different wineries. Let's get started right away. The labels are produced by a Hong Kong illustrator. Her name is Victo. Not sure about the last name, but Victo. She's pretty famous. Awarded many. She does a lot of illustrations for many organizations, but she did the labels on these. This is the 2021 Prophecy Pinot Grigio from Della Venezia in Italy. Del Venezia. Deli. I told you I can butcher a language. I can butcher a language easily. Del Venezia from the Veneto. There you go. They're all line price. Line price means they're all the same price. $12 retail. Great price. One thing about a bigger organization like Gallo, they can offer wines at a better price. Now, I don't know how many of you, a lot of people like micro or smaller craft wineries. I'm not opposed to any big winery. As long as they do a good job, it doesn't matter where they come from, and I like the price point. But let's see how the wine shows. This is very straw-like in color. Let's see what we get on the nose. This is one of the wines you will rarely see me have at the dinner table, and that's Pinot Grigio. Huge selling wine, I respect that, but it's just not a wine I go to. Getting a little melon on the nose. Melon and just a pinch of lemon curd. Not super aromatic. Let's see what we get on the palate. Good melon notes. Has a little viscosity on it, which is a little texture in the mouth, which is cool. A little bit of minerality on the backside, a little bit of kind of wet stone. The lemon comes through underneath, front to finish. There's some acidity, not a huge amount, but it's balanced. I like this Pinot Grigio. Now, you won't hear me say that a lot about Pinot Grigio. I shouldn't say that. I could probably I'd probably say there's about 10 Pinot Grigios that I would go to if I were deciding to drink Pinot Grigio. This would be one of them. I like the price point, $12. I like the balance of this wine. It has acidity, not overpowering acidity, but it has nice, those melon and lemon notes, a little bit of lemon curd on the lemon curd side, with a little minerality on the back end. For $12, that's pretty nice. A little bit of a little green apple coming through as well, which I didn't get on the nose, but definitely some green apple. Not quite Granny Smith, maybe more Golden Delicious apple on this wine. I think it's very balanced, nicely made Pinot Grigio from Italy, which is where you would think you would do Pinot Grigio because, hey, they do a ton of it, especially up in the Veneto up there. So yeah, a lot of Pinot Grigio there, and yeah, I'm gonna go B minus B on that. I think it's very solid Pinot Grigio for $12. Let's move on. Now here's the one that kind of puzzles me just a little bit. I'm excited to see the comments. How many of you think? Pick two other places you would do Sauvignon Blanc before California, or would you choose California Sauvignon Blanc? 2021 Prophecy Sauvignon Blanc, California. No specific area in California. Gallo has a lot of projects in California, so no doubt they have a good source of fruit there. Alright. This is very clear. Almost clear with just a hint of straw. Alright. Did I show you the label? Probably not. Yeah. Victo, famous illustrator from Hong Kong. Really cool labels. They are. I like them. $12. See what we get on those. I get a little bit of that grapefruit pith. There's an interesting kind of a nut characteristic that I'm getting on this, which is interesting. Grapefruit pith, apple, a bit of melon coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. A touch thin, but not offensive at all. Lots of grapefruit pith on this one. A little bit of apple underneath. The only thing I have against this one right now is it's a little thin, but it finishes with that solid grapefruit pith thing, just like you get out of New Zealand. Very fresh, very simple. Fresh, simple, non-offensive Sauvignon Blanc for $12. I think these come a dime a dozen. But I do like the acidity, almost kind of an apple skin type of acidity. This is what they call a PP wine or a porch pounder. You crack this one, they're all stove enclosures, screw caps. This is just really fresh, really clean. Grapefruit on the finish, big time, with a little bit of that apple component in there. Yeah, I think it's nothing wrong with it. It's not offensive, as I said. It's not. It has good acidity. It's just a little bit simple. I'm going to go C plus B minus on that one. $12, good price. Let's move on. Prophecy 2019 Buttery Chardonnay. That's interesting. They put buttery. There's a Chardonnay called Butter. I think there's bread and butter Chardonnay. So hopefully it is buttery. Don't put that on the label if it's not. California, $12. Cool label. Alright, give this a little rinse. Buttery Chard. Big time sellers in the store. We saw a lot of buttery style Chardonnays. In fact, I was in the store today and Scott, my assistant, my trusty assistant Scott, said that we were out of Rombauer. Who knew? I thought I had enough to get us through the weekend. But that's a big time seller and it's expensive. So people like their buttery Chard. It's really gold colored. Clear gold. Clear gold. I like that. Let's see what we get on the nose. Butter. For sure. A little caramel. I mean, this is like buttery on the nose. Which kind of scares me, just saying. They can twist dials and add things to wines to make them that way. $12. This can't have, well, it's Gallo. It could have some, 1-year-old oak on it for sure. Has kind of a dusty, buttery component on the nose. Like I said, a little caramel, a little toffee. Let's see what we get on the palate. Yes, it is buttery, but it has that kind of offensive, kind of fakey, buttery taste to it. It has some caramel, toffee things going on, a little bit of vanilla, which usually comes from oak treatment. But they can do staves, they can do little pouches of oak that they dip into the wine. They have all those different methods. This one tastes like it has makeup to me. I mean, yeah, there's some people that would like this wine. I'm sure of that. Positive of that, actually. But I would not put it in the store. I just don't like the flavor profile that I'm getting on the palate. I feel like it's been manipulated just a little bit. That's what we mean by makeup. They've done some things to give it that buttery profile. That isn't what I would call just from oak treatment or malolactic fermentation. Obviously it has some ML on it, malolactic fermentation, which it takes malic acid and turns it to lactic acid. Malic being apple, green apple like Granny Smith, lactic being like milk acid. So you get the idea. So there's some of that. But there's an interesting flavor profile that hits on the mid palate. I just can't. It's like almost like a Fig Newton type thing. Real toastiness, is what I'm trying to get at. Nah, that's a pass for me. I'm gonna go C- on that. I think it's below average. I think there will some people that will like it, but it's a pass for me. Let's move on. The rosé from France. That's where I'd do rosé. You can do rosé all over the place. There's some great Washington rosé. There's some great California rosé. But definitely Provence and France and that area around there, they do rosé really well. So, this is the 2020. That's interesting that the two whites are 21. This is 20. 2020 Prophecy Rosé Vin de France. This rolls in again at $12. Like the label again. Victo from Hong Kong. She does a nice job with the illustrations. 20. That kind of puzzles me. You like your rosés to be fresher than that. But that's obviously what they're on right now. Let's see what we're going to... Oh, color. A little bit of a penny color. A little bit of copper penny. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying there? Little salmons, copper penny. Let's see what we get on the nose. Ooh, I got a little, I got an initial hit of almost like paint thinner. There's definitely a turpentine sort of thing going on. A little strawberry in there, for sure. That smell has passed just a little bit, but it was just a weird kind of hit on my nose, almost like airplane glue or something like that. It's gone now, so now calm down, guys. It's passed. It's went away. It's blown off, as we say. Now we're on to strawberries. A bit of strawberry pie action on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Palate. Nice and dry. Most people, not all people, but most people like nice, dry, sharp rosé. This is a very dry rosé, which I like. I appreciate that. I get strawberry notes. Get a little, what am I trying to reach for here? Strawberry. Sorry. A little slow on the uptake today. What the heck is wrong with me? Get some herbal notes, with the strawberry on the palate. I did not get that on the nose. Yeah, I can, now that I'm thinking about it. Some herbal strawberry notes, very dry. Get just a touch of rhubarb is what I'm thinking of. Just a little bit of rhubarb on the back end of this wine. Again, this is a porch pounder rosé. I like it. I think it's this is what people are looking for. Most people, 80% of the people are looking for this style of rosé with this nice dry strawberry, rhubarb. No watermelon, but a little bit of just a tiny hit of herbs. Not super exciting, but good. I mean, this is, you know, you could plop down if you're having ham, especially if you're having ham around Christmas time. This would be a nice little ham wine. Nice little introductory. Your company comes in. It's 12 bucks. Didn't cost you a lot of money. Now, I have a few rosés out there that I can find for around 10 bucks that are better, but I still like this wine. I'm going to go C+ on this rosé. I think it's above average, but not to the B level rosé. There you go. Prophecy wines from Gallo. All $12. Only one was a pooper out of the bunch, the Chardonnay. But I do think there's some people that would like it. And just don't come to me. Don't come to the store. Don't come to King's Market, because guess what? It won't be on the shelf. Just saying. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Don't forget to comment on 2 other places you would do Sauvignon Blanc rather than California. I'm very curious to hear, very interested to hear what you have to say. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.